Your country 1039 KGRT. That's Miss Miranda Lambert and the house that built me.
Time now for the question of the day.
Yes, it is indeed question of the day time. And our question of the day actually came from a little story that I read from earlier this morning, because according to the Social Security Administration Office official list of interesting baby names, we'll put it that way, from this last year. Names like Sparkle, Strawberry, Canary, and Cinderella for girls. I can understand Cinderella. And for boys, names like Dragon, Rooster, Lancelot, and Awesome. And I was actually taking a look at some of those other names. Apparently, states are very popular. Texas, Utah in there. Fender was a name for another boy, and some of the other names for girls. Pearly, Chai, as in the tea, chai or shy, I guess it would be. So there's a lot of interesting names that you can go ahead and put out there for your kids. In fact, I remember one of my English teachers in high school said to definitely keep a list of names or keep an eye out for interesting names in the world of history, because you can torture your kids with them later. And, I've got a few interesting names that, if I would ever have the opportunity again to go ahead and name a child. One of them actually just recently came out in the Ahsoka series, so may have to reconsider that one. But I always thought Jason with a Jacen was a good name right there. But like I said, it kind of got stolen a little bit on that one. But I don't know. What do you have? Do you have any creative or interesting names that you would name a child? Or do you know somebody who's got a really interesting name? Yeah, let me know your answers, because that is our question of the day. What creative or interesting names would you name a child? You can call it in, 575-523-5478. You can text it in at the same number, 575-523-KGRT. And as always, we are up on our social media pages, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can always leave a comment down below. Yeah, so go ahead and leave a comment there if you'd like. But let me know your answers to our question of the day. What creative or interesting names would you name a child? Yep, that is our question of the day. All right, exclusively up on our social media pages right now. It looks like Annette said that Wolfgang is her new grandson. Oh, that is really, really cool. And congratulations, Annette. Yeah. Wolfgang's actually a pretty good name. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Obviously, Wolfgang Van Halen, which is Eddie's son right there, and he's got a new band and everything else like that. I think Wolfgang's a pretty good name right there. Like I said, I had two names. Yesenia, I think, was a name that I thought for a girl, and Jason was a name for a boy. But, getting older. So, I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I will make those suggestions. I'll put it out there for you guys as well. Also, I used to work a lot with customer service, and it's always interesting to go ahead and get some of the names that would come up that way. I wish I could remember some of them, because I'm very bad at remembering names in general. But what interesting names would you name a child? Doesn't have to be your child, of course, or have you come across any interesting names as well? I mean, some of the other names on this list for girls, apparently Minnow was another one. Banksy was another one. Delight. Yeah, that was a name. And remember, these are coming from the official list of the Social Security office names right there. So, yeah, always some really good names, I think. But go ahead and let me know your answers to our question of the day. What creative or interesting name would you name your child? In the meantime, let's go ahead and see what's going on in and around the world. Unfortunately, 132 Florida Walmart stores have temporarily closed because of Hurricane Idalia. I guess if there's any good news that's coming out of that, and actually really good news, is it was just really, really quick. It just kind of flew right over the state. So not as bad as it could have been. But yeah, still lots of storm surges and flooding going on. And it kind of went through Georgia and over up on the East Coast as well. And believe it or not, went back out to sea as a tropical storm. So yeah, we're still keeping an eye on that, because there's a chance. You never know the weather patterns, but there's a chance it could still cause some more damage out there somewhere. Let's see. This week is the worst week to buy a new iPhone. Even if you don't want the iPhone 15, Apple will reveal the iPhone 15 lineup on September 12th. Current iPhones like the iPhone 14 will likely become cheaper after the new release. So if you wait a little bit, you can get a good deal. Also, Netflix has renewed The Lincoln Lawyer for a third season. That new season will be based on Michael Connelly's novel, The Gods of Guilt. I know a lot of people enjoying that. Also saw that, let's see, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's daughter, Shiloh, recently debuted in a pink buzz cut. Interesting. Apparently, it looks pretty good. I don't know. Good for her if you want to go pink that way. And let's see, Disney California Adventure is celebrating Halloween with a new candy corn churro that costs $6.79. The churro is coated in orange and yellow sugar and is topped with vanilla icing and candy corn. Honestly, that sounds pretty good, but that's an expensive churro, right? Once again, we are looking for answers. Great. Way to go. Okay. Mom chimed in online. She said the most interesting or creative name that she has known is Gino. Yeah. Mom, come on. Well, though I could honestly believe that because I think the only other person that, well, now I know a couple of Ginos here in town, but the only other person I think you knew at the time with that name was the person that I was named after. So, yeah, I guess I will accept that one basically because it's Mom. So Mom chimed in with Gino. And let's see, do you have any interesting or creative names that you have come across for some people? Or are there any interesting and creative names that you would have for any children that you would know? That is our question of the day. Once again, go ahead and let me know your answers. You can call them in. You can text them in as well. 575-523-5478 is that number. And as always, leave a comment below. I love going through these a little bit later on in the day to see what kind of interesting answers we get. So let me know your answers for our question of the day. What creative or interesting name would you name a child?